Hi everyone. So welcome to the 49th day video on the CAT exam last 50 days sprint. And in the previous video in the comment section, you guys had shared a lot of questions that were bothering you, out of which I've picked two most common frequently asked questions. These questions, both of them pertain to mock taking setting, which means that you're taking the mock and you're experiencing some sort of difficulty or you have a question regarding them. So the two questions are as follows. The first question that has been asked by a lot of you is that when you decide to take the mock, that is when you are experiencing difficulties. Otherwise, when it's an untimed circumstance, when you're not timing the question, you're able to get it correct. Or when you're analyzing the mock, you're getting it correct. But when you're taking the mock, you're getting it wrong. So, what is happening? Another question that I'm being asked very frequently is that what should be your mock taking timeline? How many mocks are you supposed to take in the time left, and what is the best way to go about it? So these are the two questions that I'm going to address in today's video, which is day 49. So stay tuned and I hope that the insights help you. Okay, so coming to the first question, first of all, for those of you who are experiencing this, it's pretty normal, and I'm repeating it again because a lot of us tend to believe that something is very wrong with us, and that's why we are feeling this. What you're feeling is actually a term that's there in neuroscience. It's called as test anxiety. It's a condition. Whatever you're facing is out there, it's not something out of the blue. So it's pretty normal to face that. In fact, let me give you an example that I face when I make videos. So in order to make these YouTube videos, I'm supposed to record, and I don't record the entire video in one go. I record it in bits and pieces. So every time I start off with a particular part of a video, let's say I'm speaking right now, sometimes I face that test anxiety and I end up making a mistake by saying something that I would not have said otherwise if it wasn't being timed. So for example, right now I'm fumbling, right? This is exactly what test anxiety is all about. And this happens because of a lot of reasons. And I'm going to list those reasons for you. But before I share the reasons or before I share what is the solution to this problem, let me share a good news and a bad news. A good news is that you can solve this problem. If you are facing test anxiety, you are almost there to cross this barrier. When you are able to solve the questions under an untimed circumstance, that's the best example of the fact that you already know what's out there and you can perform well in the exam. The only thing stopping you is this trap that's out there in your own head. And I'm going to explain how to overcome it. But the good news is that you can overcome it and you're very close to the finishing line. The bad news, however, is that you will have to put in a lot of effort to transform your thoughts, which is something that needs to be done in these last 50 days. It is difficult, but at the same time, it's not impossible. The bad news is that it will require a lot of effort from your own end. Nobody else can help you with that. Now, coming to the question that why do some people face test anxiety while others are not able to face it and they do very well in the exam? So, the basic reason behind facing test anxiety is not being prepared for it. Not being prepared does not mean that you haven't completed your syllabus. You would have already done that. But not being prepared means you're mentally not prepared for the mock. You're already going through some negative self talk. You have doubts about your own performance that might be linked to past performance results. Let's say you have not been scoring very well in the past few mocks. That might be leading you to thinking that you are not going to perform very well in this mock as well, which ends up making you feel anxious during the exam, which ends up scoring low, and hence this is a vicious cycle. Another common reason of test anxiety is this perfectionist attitude wherein we think that our mock scores are a result of our performance, and if you don't score very well, you will start doubting your own potential, and you also start linking your mock results with your future outcomes. So let's say that you don't perform very well on a mock, you will think that just because I've not scored very well on one mock, I will not be able to make it to my dream B school. This perfectionist attitude leads us to thinking that this every single mock is super important, and we wait so much that we end up feeling anxious during taking the mock. So a lot of you might be facing this issue when you take the mock, that you might be thinking that I am not performing very well in the mock even while the mock is going on. And you might already be guessing how much are you actually going to score even while the timer is running. So when you're taking the mock, you should only be taking the mock. That should be your focus, and not wondering what your score is going to be, because then you're using your brain for other tasks which it's not supposed to be doing at that point of time. So that is another reason of test anxiety. Now, how to overcome it? Very simple. First of all, you need to get ample sleep. If you are taking the mock with a tired mindset, you are not prepared for it. Second, in order to be more prepared for it, get a strategy on board. What that means is, before even beginning the mock, you know that the first section you are going to see is VARC. So when the timer starts, do you have a plan in mind? What I used to do in order to feel more prepared was that I used to spend the first few minutes scanning the different RCs and taking a layout, note down all the questions and as to which one is the RC, which one is a VA question, which RC is a lengthier RC, which RC is a shorter RC, and then deciding on the order of attend. Doing this in the very first few minutes of the exam. So that used to help me get prepared, because every time the mock started, irrespective of whether the first question was a VA question or an RC question, I knew what was supposed to be done. At least I was prepared. This is also something I had mentioned in the VA video. I will in fact link all the section wise videos in the description for you. I used to keep this prepared mindset for each section. So similarly in DILR, I used to spend the first few minutes scanning the different sets and deciding on the order of attempt. I always attempted LR questions first because I felt more comfortable in them. I always attempted the shorter questions first because I felt more comfortable with them. Or I attempted the familiar questions first because I attempted and felt comfortable with them. So it's totally up to you which strategy you decide. Similarly, in cons section, I use the rounds technique on which I've made a video. I'll link it again. And you can go through it and you can see how you are supposed to actually tackle the situation. It helps you stay prepared if you are sure what you're going to do in the first few minutes of the exam. That helps your mind get stabilized in that moment and get ready for facing the questions that you're going to see. But apart from this, another way of staying prepared is by setting an expectation on what should be your attempt rate. So I always knew before taking the mock how much am I going to attempt. I know that it's difficult to predict it because you don't know what is going to be the difficulty level of the mock, but have some estimate in mind. I always thought of a number in my head that this is something that I'm definitely going to attempt, and that helped me stay concentrated. Like if I was wavering my focus level, I would bring it back because I knew I had to attempt 20 questions in VA or 25 questions in VA. During my time, there used to be 34 questions. So I always used to target 30 questions attempt in VARC section. In your time, since there are going to be probably 24 questions or something of that sort, why not set a target that I'm going to attempt at least 20 questions? That will make sure that you are focused while you're taking the mock. So set an attempt strategy first. And after that, another way of being more prepared is by knowing that this is the formula book, revise it beforehand, go through all the questions. You can also keep your formula book on the side while you're taking the mock. That will ensure that even if you, let's say, forget a particular formula, you can look at the formula book, attempt the question right. I know that that's not going to be there in the final exam, but that will help you in the shorter run and feel more confident and bring you out of that negative self talk. In fact, coming out of that negative self talk is super important. So, if any one of you who is watching this channel or who has been a regular viewer of the channel thinks that your performance in the mock is linked to your final outcome, I'm telling you, you are going to be making the biggest mistake of your life. You are scoring what you are scoring basis your past performance, and whatever you are going to do in these last 49 days will determine how much you score in the end. So don't ever think that your current performance will determine your future outcomes. Your current performance after you have taken the mock, when you focus on improving your mock scores, is going to determine your performance. And if let's say that while you are analyzing, you're able to solve or you're able to get the questions right, then how are you not already there? Like I'm literally feeling irritated because I feel like you're almost there and you're still making this mistake because of the trap that's there in your own head. I want every single one of you to come out of that negative self talk, be more confident, look at your own scores when you solve it in an untimed scenario, and feel confident. That's an evidence right there in front of you. Why are you not looking at it? The only thing that you need to do is to feel more prepared about the exam setting. Feel confident that no matter how you have been scoring in the past, you are almost there and you're going to crack the next mock with a lot of confidence, and you're going to come out and score very well. If you go with a positive mindset, you're definitely going to see better results. So please, this is a request from my end to each one of you to stop thinking negatively already about the mock that you're going to take. If you feel anxious, you are going to make a mistake. Coming to the second question now, because we have already spent a lot of time on the first one and I don't want to be wasting your time, it's crucial at this point of time. How many mocks should you be taking at this point of time? See, I would say take as many mocks as you feel comfortable with. There is no hard and fast rule. You should have at least 20 to 30 mocks repository with you, so that even if you change your strategy at any point of time, you don't have to go about purchasing another series at this moment. So have at least 20 to 30 mocks with you. If you don't have those mocks and you want a list of free mocks, I will feel comfortable making a video on it. I am pretty free these days. So let me know. I will make a video if you want free mocks. But your strategy should be to attempt mocks when you feel comfortable. What I did during this time was that I decided to attempt one mock every alternate day in October and one mock every single day in the month of November. I even tweaked my strategy towards the end by attempting two mocks on some days in November month and then taking a gap of 1 or 2 days in between. So there is no hard and fast strategy, there is no hard and fast rule. I would say at least attempt 30 mocks in the time frame that is left, but if you attempt lesser mocks, that is also perfectly fine. When you take a mock, after taking the mock, when you analyze it, you will get to know how much time you need to spend on it to improve on your weaker area by practicing more questions or by revising the formulas. And then you would know that when should you be taking the next mock. So when I used to take mocks in the month of October, sometimes I used to take a mock. I felt like, okay, I've scored very well in the mock, and hence there is nothing that I need to be preparing. So I just used to follow the simple routine of reading an RC, solving it, solving some DILR sets here and there, revising my formula book, and then the very next day also I used to take a mock. But let's say I scored bad in the next mock, then I would sit to analyze it and see where I made mistakes, what are some of the weaker areas. I would spend 1 day or 2 days on that weaker area and then take the next mock. So that strategy is totally up to you. Anything you decide is okay. There is no hard and fast rule over here. But something I would surely suggest is to take the mocks in a setting which you feel most comfortable in. So for example, I came back home from my college during these days and I spent the last 1.5, 2 months at my home because I had my father over here and I used to tell him after every mock how I performed, what were some of my weaker areas, some of my strength areas, what am I going to work on before the next mock. So I had someone to talk to. If you don't have someone right now, you can also maintain a journal and you can keep noting down what is going to be your strategy before taking the next mock. That is going to make sure that you feel comfortable in that scenario and you're also enjoying the process. Otherwise, these last few days might seem a bit stressful. So that is all I wanted to cover in this video. Two questions that we addressed: how many mocks to take and what should be your mindset while you're taking the mock. Please, I'm repeating it again. Those of you who are facing test anxiety, it's only in your head. If you calm down, if you feel more prepared before taking the mock, you're going to see better results. Try it before the next mock and you will see it for yourself. Thanks a lot for watching this video. And if you have other questions that you want me to address in day 48, please put them down in the comments. All the very best, guys.